Well, now that I've learned that YouTube can now upload videos that are longer than 10 minutes, I can have so much fun. This video is all about the Pally, all about the possible rating that I'm going to do with it. Not just next expansion in Warlords of Draenor, but also in this expansion when I get to bring it to Flex. Not gonna tank, not gonna tank. Flex 1, maybe. Immersius, definitely. Already explained why. Because as a Prot Pally, that fight is our god fight. That fight, we are gods. The only big damage you ever have to worry about is magic damage, and we have tons of mitigation for that. As opposed to the monk, where you only have one or two possible cooldowns that you can use to mitigate that damage. You know what? We still managed to do it. One of them's on a 30-second cooldown as opposed to the paladin's cooldowns that are all on like 3 minutes. They're all 3 minute cooldowns. I think one's 2 minute and one is 1 minute. Everything else, everything else is like 2 minutes. Why do I want to raid with a Ret Pally this expansion? Why would I want to do that? One, because Devotion Aura is God on Thok. Already proved that. I think we had a Holy Pally. Okay, on the fight, we were able to get Thok to 50 stacks before he died. We had him at 50 stacks on the second door, right after he ate the second person. So this would have transitioned into him running around and then going to the last door. We were able to kill him. He had 50 stacks. Our healers were a Holy Pally that is terrible as fuck at doing his job. He sucks so hard, and his name is Spadge. And then we had two alt shamans. These resto shamans were alts, and they were able to keep this group up so long. And I'm guessing that our range DPS, that wasn't the hunter, because don't get me wrong, I feel like if it wasn't for the interrupt that came from Mr. Thok the Bloodthirsty, I would have had some kind of competition other than the hunter. Me and the hunter were taught by a long ways. Maybe it was the fact that they kept getting interrupted that put the elemental shaman and everyone at the bottom. But dude, that fight, I know Devotion Aura came in good there. What else? Why else would I want it? Why else other than Devotion Aura? It has dispels, and we've seen just in Siege of Orgrimmar that dispels are pretty active. Like there are tons of dispels throughout some of the fights in Siege of Orgrimmar. There are dispels on protectors. There's dispels on Mercius Heroic, which I will not be bringing my pally to anytime soon, at least. And then there's dispels on Shaw, and I'm not really sure if you can dispel the poison effect on Thok the Bloodthirsty. I think you can. I believe I was able to do so in that pub with my diffuse magic on my monk. I'm not sure. But why do I want to raid as Ret? Why not raid as Holy or raid as Prot? One, I don't like tanking. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Pally is fun to tank on. It is fun to tank on a Pally, and Mr. Axion said he kind of wants to tank with me. He wants to tank with me, and I wouldn't mind that. On a Mercius, I'll do it. No other fight. No other fight. I will not tank any other fight. Norushen, Protectors, I'm not tanking those fights. I will tank Mercius. That's the only fight I will ever tank. What else was there? Why Ret over Holy or Prot? Well, Holy seems fun, but I just don't like the healing mechanics of it. Really don't. Prot, already explained why. Not really a tank anymore. Multiple reasons. Not really a tank anymore. Ret, however, I like being melee DPS, and I like the ability to, I can be that guy that blows every cooldown at once and essentially neuters myself in overall damage. But for that one moment, I'm able to deal like a shit ton, like 600k DPS for all 3 seconds. But I would play it how it's set up to be, where you line up your cooldowns, you're able to keep some kind of damage bonus on constantly, And I feel like ret just seems so much more fun. You get so much more to do as opposed to a prot pally as a tank where you just pop the cooldowns like Dance Dance Revolution. It's been compared to Dance Dance Revolution, and yeah, that's pretty much it. You have like 3 or 4 spells that light up, and you pop them. It's like meh. You get a boost to Word of Glory whenever you pop your 1 damage mitigation. But meh, and it's weird. I don't really like feel like tanking or healing on that currently. Currently, I don't feel like that. I mean, I haven't really been able to play around with the Holy Pally because I don't have any gear for it. And the gearing is so different between the Holy Pally and everything else just because of the Intellect and Spirit. What else did I do? Like, it's a ret pally. It's a ret pally. Everyone's like, oh, those are faithful. They're not. They're actually kind of complicated if you want to play it right. It's not being elitist when you say, hey, there's 2 ways to play a ret pally. People can say, you can just blow all your cooldowns at once. That doesn't cause anything. Well, hey, you can drive a car with your feet, but it doesn't make it a good idea. I will have 2 dispels to use on people in fights that require a dispel. I mean, in Shad, you kind of take that with a pinch of salt because you're taking pride. I'll also have a freaking bubble that I can use at any point. How awesome is that? Oh my god, guys. Will of the Emperors. When you had a ret pally that had to off-tank those ads. If you had multiple ads, or hell, even right now on Heroic, when you take those 750 sparks, you have a ret pally just killing everything, gathering all of those sparks and kiting them around, popping a bubble, and then surviving it. It is epic. How do I know this? I haven't done it, but I've seen videos. Ret Pally it's fun gameplay. Playing a Pally is just so fun. Then you get wings. You're like, yeah, guys, move out of the way. Archangel, have you guys ever seen Digimon? I am Seraphimon. I am freaking Seraphimon. Back off. And the Pally suffers from one thing that no other class in the entire game that I've seen suffers from. One thing that I've never seen on any of the classes that I have. Even between my account and Axion's account, I don't see another class with this, especially the monks. The monks have like 1 or 2 good glyphs, whereas you look at the Pally, and almost every glyph is good. Almost every glyph is amazing. Glyph Word of Glory, you have a freaking long range spell, and as a prot pally with Word of Glory glyph, use it to damage a mob far away or something and get aggro, and you heal yourself for 80% of that damage. Oh my god, guys, can you see the fact that it's not just that? You can glyph one of your cooldowns to now give you physical damage reduction. You can glyph basically every ability to do something epic, and I can't choose just 3 glyphs. They're all situational. There's one situation where you might want this glyph, but you have this glyph right now, so you gotta switch them, and then the next situation, you might want to switch them back or something. There's so much with the Pally, and the gameplay of it is fun. It is so fun when you play that Paladin. And what did I make my Paladin? What did I choose for the professions? Because I worked to level that thing up from 47 or 54 or whatever when I started working on it. When the pre-purchase became available, I hit level 60 that night. What did I do? I used my Elixir of Wisdom. Did not know how powerful that thing was. I should have used it when I was level 57. I used it when I was level 59. 3 quests later, I hit level 60, logged out, bought it, boosted. Albeit, I still get told off. It's like, oh, your gear's terrible, you should get out of LFR, your gear's horrible. Guys, I'm not dying. How is the DPS dying when there's no way that you take damage that you can't avoid? Shaw Pride is like, hey, guys, That tank is terrible. Go into shop right. How did you die from reflections? How did you die from reflections? Did you not move out? Oh, we don't need to move out. You get fucking pride. At least use that mechanic. Because we had 3 mind control people going around and fucking everyone up and we had to wipe it. That was terrible. I don't like wiping an LFR. I don't. I don't like wiping, and I don't like using unnecessary fucked up tactics. I don't. I don't like using something that you don't have to use. And I have now experienced the 2 tanking normal shamans fight. And you want to know something? With 2 good tanks and a good group that knows the fight the 2 tank way, it's good. It's good. It's possible and it goes quickly. I still prefer 3 tanking it. I would still prefer 3 tanking it over 2 tanking any time of the day, just because 3 tanking it, you can control it more. You can control where tornadoes are. You can control who gets a debuff that ticks for a large amount over time. You can control who gets what, and you can definitely control the Ashen Wall a lot better. That's one reason why I will always take the 3 tanking over the 2 tank. I will still bash 3 tanking. Do not get me wrong. If it's a fight where you have a choice to be like, we can have an extra DPS or we can have an extra tank, I want the extra DPS. I want to get through a fight quickly. I want to get through a fight quickly. I will still go 3 tanking. I won't moan if we're doing 3 tanks. I won't be that guy that's like, oh my god, guys, there's only 10 man. We don't need a 3 tank in it. I'll say that in LFR. I will gladly say that in LFR because in LFR, you only need like 5 people that know what the fuck they're doing to survive. Like, it hurts the brain though. Then next expansion with my paladin. I made my paladin a blacksmith enchanter. What does that mean for me? Extra sockets and ring enchants. I've got the ring enchants. Then there are some enchants that I can't get without rep. And I fucking hate you because I hate rep. Fuck off. Seriously, I do not like rep at all. Rep is the epitome of my existence right now. But I do have a rather easy way to make gold now. Timeless Gear, Disenchant, Shock Crystal. Yep. What else is there? What else can I possibly do with my rep pally? Right now, making enchants. One goal that I have with this prop pally and my next level 90, I will be getting another boost. I may even buy Mr. Axion the boost today. I need to talk to him to figure out when he wants the boost and what he wants to boost. He said he would like to boost a hunter. I told him, no, you don't need to boost the hunter. I will give you my hunter because I hate playing that thing with a burning passion. It's fun to go into flex and everything and just power shot. And then someone else gets blamed. That moment where you do something and someone else gets blamed. Guys, all these ads. Power shot. Who did that? It was this guy's flame trap. No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was. No, I don't have the cliff. Power shot. Yeah, how dare you use that trap? Power shot. Don't get me wrong, I only do that in flex where I know we can handle it. Next expansion. Like they're going to take away the sockets and they're going to take away the ring enchants. They're essentially neutering every profession to be like, well, you know what? You don't need a profession to be good in a raid. Don't know how I feel about that. And I'm hoping for like suddenly the game is magically released in August. I really hope that happens. Maybe July, somewhere around there. But so next expansion, I will essentially be self-sufficient. With my next 90 character, I want to make sure that I get something to level 60 and then boost it the rest of the way to 90. Or I might even ask Mr. Axion if he wants to boost one of his level 85s. Because all I need now to be a completely self-sufficient raider is an alchemist for flasks and potions. what do I have right now? On my main raiding toon, I would probably, definitely benefit from having an engineer. But on everything, I have an inscriptionist for the shoulder enchants. I have an engineer for the cheeky little level up trinkets. I have my enchanter. I have my jewel crafter. I have my blacksmith for the belt buckles. I have leatherworker for leg armor. I have, God, what else is there? I've got every profession except for alchemy and tailoring maxed out right now. That's what it is. I've got a cook, so I never really need to worry about banquets. I've got everything. I've got an herbalist. I've got a miner. I've got everything I need. It's really, really bad. Like alchemist, I need flasks. Luckily, I actually do have access to an alchemist. I can easily log on to Mr. iCalled and use his alchemy. I can easily do that. I can ask a couple of my friends for it or whatever. I can be a completely self-sufficient raider. As it stands right now, I can make the enchants that I'm missing for my monk. I am not fully enchanted on my monk. And we all know that you're not fully enchanted, you're not fully gemmed, you're not fully upgraded, you're not going to kill that boss. Yeah, I went there. But I will be self-sufficient next expansion. Or even early this expansion, doesn't matter. I will also have a nice way to make gold. Because with the removal of primary stats on gems, we are going to have jewel crafters won't be selling as much because gem slots will be more rare. But it just means that the price is going to go up. Leveling on my herbalist on my monk means that I'm going to be able to get inscriptions very quickly. So I'm going to have the inks and I'm going to immediately have myself decked out in my shoulder enchants. Having my paladin as an enchanter, I'm immediately going to have access to the level up gear that can be disenchanted so I can make them into enchants and give them to my monk. It's going to be fine going through the heroics and disenchanting that gear. My pally is going to be basically my off-raid toon. If there is a fight where my paladin would be more useful than my monk to the raid, I will gladly switch. And I'm telling you right now, anyone who refuses to do a raid on their main next expansion just because they don't get loot, fuck you. Fuck you so hard. You are a terrible, terrible person. If you hear next expansion, oh well, guys, I'm not gonna bring my. You know what, guys? I will not bring my. Can't believe I actually have to think of a class that's not in the raid. I'm not gonna bring my hunter because I'm already saved 4 out of 8 on that raid. Can we kill the other bosses that I don't have? If we're not killing the other bosses, I'm not going to bring my hunter. I'm going to bring my extremely less geared alt. Why? Well, I don't get loot. / kick. That's what you do. You kick them. You kick them. Those people are terrible. I've gone through flexes, LFRs, normal. I've gone through fights that I need no gear from at all on my monk. Why? To help people. I went into a flex that was advertising in trade chat after I did normal or something with my group. I'm like, yeah, okay. I already did flex, so I don't get gear from this, but help other people. That hurt my brain. That was the one and only time that I was never able to kill a Mercius after my group downed it the first time. The one and only time. And I will never, ever go there with some of those people again. It's not elitist. That's showing that if you can't handle a simple mechanic, you do not belong anywhere near me because I will fucking kill you. So, with my pally and Warlords of Draenor, what will it be? Well, as soon as my monk is geared up fully from heroics, because I'm not going to start working on my alt, Except for, those times where there's no one else, because I'm not going to worry about, oh, you can't do heroics until you get silver proving grounds. I'm not going to do randoms. There's 4 other people from the guild or some of my buddies on. I'm going to be like, do you guys want to do heroics? I'm not going to worry about doing random heroics. I cannot be asked. I don't care about the attunement. You can get the attunement pretty easily. I love one comment that was actually made on the forums, and a GM corrected them immediately, where someone said, you shouldn't require people to do the Proving Ground Silver, because I wasn't even able to do the Bronze until I was 522 gear score. They said item level, but let's be honest, it's gear score. And Blue said, well, it scales down your gear, so it's okay. That's saying that not only do people not understand how a Proving Ground works, one second, how the Proving Ground ability works, how the scaling of that works, but they don't understand how to get. I got silver on damage pretty easily. I'm not gold yet because I'm not gonna do it. I've got silver. I may be able to. I can do gold and get the proven assailant title, but I don't see the point. I really do not see the point of it. So my pally and my monk, I'll do like the damage ones. I'm not gonna go in as a tank. If it comes to having to tank with my group of buddies, if I have to tank, only if I absolutely have to and no one else can tank, I will tank. I will tank on my pally, I will tank on my monk. The only proving grounds that I'm going to do for Warlords of Draenor, DPS. Because I will not do the healing ones. I don't see a point in it. Maybe I can do the healing ones, but I don't feel like healing an actual group. Because you always have Mr. Billy the Huntard that decides to stand in the middle of everything, and I will not heal him. Just like when tanking, if a hunter does not turn growl off on their pet, I will sit. I will have my character sit down until their pet is dead, and then I'll go back to tanking. If they're stupid and res their pet, then I will let their pet die again. I'm going to teach you one thing. You're not getting through the heroic without a problem. So on those heroics and everything, I'm going to have my pally go in second. And I'm going to start disenchanting. And when I start raiding with my pally, I'm going to ask, hey, if no one else needs this, can I disenchant it? I need the enchanting materials as much as anyone else. And actually more so now. I need my DPS belt. I need a good DPS belt, or a good tank belt, or something. But, so my ret pally, I'm going to raid on it. It's going to kind of be my alt for raiding. A little bit of an alt. I was like, okay, well, I know these fights. I can do these fights easily on my monk. Do we benefit more from having a paladin? Do we have a mage and a druid or another monk that can provide a critical strike and stats buff that would allow me to come in on my pally and give the group a mastery buff? Do we have some kind of mechanic that causes a large interrupt that devotion aura can stop? Do we have a moment where someone's going to take a large amount of physical damage that I can essentially stop them from taking with Hand of Protection? Can Hand of Sacrifice come in useful against this boss from a large amount of damage that would be going towards the tank at some point? These are things that I think about, and it's not the mindset of, oh, well, everyone has to play at a certain level. It's not the mindset at all. It's me thinking ahead as to not only is it fun to play my pally. In the 2 days that I've had my pally, it's been very fun to play. But also, does it bring something to the group? Because I'm not going to bring in a class that doesn't bring anything new. if we're missing a buff and I have something that can provide that buff and it's not a detriment to the guild group or anything to bring that in, then that's fine. But if it comes to a point where it's like, well, we're missing a mastery buff, I can bring in my pally. Well, your pally is not even geared. Like, I know I just hit 100 today. It's not even geared from heroics. But we need that buff. I'm not going to do it. I will bring the geared monk over the ungeared pally. That's why I'm going to work to keep their gear equal. Because with normal raids, aka flex and cross realm heroic raids, not being available in the first 2 weeks, that gives me 2 weeks to level my monk and get him geared. After I get him geared from the heroics, I can stop. I can stop and I can say, you know, I can do all this. I'll be picking up the bonus roll coins, though. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to pick up the bonus roll coins and maybe do cross realm raiding. If the guild is not ready to do normal raids at that point, I may do some cross realm. Maybe. Don't really trust open raid anymore. But I will work on my pally. I will get my pally from 90 to 100. And then I will gear him up through the heroics. And I will have him raid ready. That way, yeah, we can do this. It's fine. 2 raids, and the 2 raids being how they're set up right now, one with 7 bosses and one with 10, I can guarantee you that Highmaul is going to become a one-night raid. In and of itself, it will be a one-night raid. Probably not immediately, but it will be there eventually. Because you've only got 7 bosses, it may be like Firelands where it's all spread out. Because they already said it's going to be a layout like Firelands, non-linear, where you only have 2 required bosses, but you can always fight the other 5 optionally. I'll do that. That's something for another video.